Imagine a 60-ton beast that can move like a predator, hit a target the size of a coin from miles away, and survive a direct hit that would vaporize any other machine. It's the pride of Germany and the sword of NATO. This is the Leopard 2. Born from the need to stop a Soviet invasion, it became the gold standard of armored warfare. Today, we're looking at why this machine is feared by every tank crew in the world and how it's finally facing its original enemy in the fields of Ukraine. The origin of the Leopard 2 was born from the collapse of the ambitious MBT-70 project, a joint venture between West Germany and the United States. When the costs spiraled out of control and the two nations couldn't agree on a common design, the Germans decided to go their own way. They wanted a tank that didn't just meet modern standards but redefined them. Working with Krauss-Maffei, they took the best lessons from the original Leopard 1 and added a level of protection and firepower that was science fiction in the 1970s. 2. The result was the Leopard 2, a machine that prioritized balance above all else, creating a harmony of speed, armor, and lethal precision. Engineering: the Leopard 2 focused on a massive increase in protection. While the Leopard 1 relied on speed to survive, the Leopard 2 was wrapped in advanced multi-layered composite armor. 3. This based armor was designed to shatter incoming shells and diffuse the energy of chemical energy rounds. 2. The distinctive blocky turret was not just for aesthetics, it was a fortress that protected the crew from almost every anti-tank weapon of the era. The Germans had successfully built a tank that could take a punch as well as it could throw one, establishing the Leopard 2 as a heavyweight brawler that was still light enough to navigate the bridges and forests of Central Europe. The heart of the Leopard 2's lethality is the Rheinmetall 120mm smoothbore gun. 3. This weapon was so revolutionary that it was eventually chosen to arm the American M1 Abrams. 1. With its high muzzle velocity and advanced fire control system, the Leopard 2 can engage targets while traveling at 40 miles per hour over rugged terrain with surgical accuracy. The stabilization of the gun is legendary. In a famous demonstration, a Leopard 2 moved at high speed while carrying a full glass of beer on the end of its barrel without spilling a drop. This precision turned the Leopard 2 into a long-range sniper, capable of deleting enemy tanks long before they could even see the German Predator. To move this 60-ton machine, the Germans used the MTU MB-873 multi-fuel diesel engine, producing a staggering 1,500 horsepower. 3. This gave the Leopard 2 a top speed of over 43 miles per hour and a power-to-weight ratio that allowed it to accelerate like a much lighter vehicle. 3. The engine was designed for ease of maintenance. The entire power pack could be swapped out in less than 30 minutes in field conditions. 3. This logistical efficiency was a direct lesson from the mechanical failures of the past, ensuring that the Leopard 2 would spend more time on the front lines and less time in the repair shop. Life inside the Leopard 2 was designed with the professional soldier in mind. Unlike the cramped and exhausting interiors of Soviet tanks, the Leopard offered superior ergonomics, high-quality optics from Zeiss, and a layout that allowed the four-man crew to work with maximum efficiency. 2. The commander had a panoramic sight that allowed 400-killer operations, spotting the next target while the gunner was destroying the current one. This teamwork, enhanced by a computerized fire control system, meant that a single Leopard 2 could take on multiple opponents simultaneously, making it a force multiplier on any battlefield. When the Leopard 2 officially entered service in 1979, it was hailed as the best tank in the world. 1. It was a masterpiece of balance and industrial pride, representing the peak of German military technology. It quickly became the Leo Club standard, adopted by almost every major European military, from the Netherlands to Switzerland and Sweden. 2. The Leopard 2 was the silent guardian of the Cold War, a machine that commanded respect through its absolute competence. It was a predator waiting for a war that never came in the 20th century, but its true test was waiting in the unknown future of the 21st. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, the Leopard 2 underwent a continuous process of evolution, leading to the legendary 2A4 version. This was the definitive Cold War model, produced in the thousands and serving as the backbone of NATO's defense. The 2A4 introduced a fully digital fire control system and improved armor, making it a reliable and lethal machine that could operate in any environment. But the Germans knew that technology never stands still. As new Soviet missiles and tanks emerged, the Leopard had to grow even sharper claws, leading to the radical wedge-shaped redesign of the Tu-A5 and Tu-A6. The Tu-A5 version introduced a massive change in the tank's appearance with the addition of arrow-shaped spaced armor on the turret front, too. This wasn't just for show. The wedge was designed to deflect incoming shells and pre-detonate anti-tank missiles before they could hit the main hull, too. It turned the Leopard 2 into one of the most protected vehicles in history. Inside, the turret was upgraded with all-electric drives, replacing the old hydraulic systems to improve crew safety and increase the speed of rotation. The Iron Knight was becoming even more resilient, a machine that prioritized survival as much as destruction. With the Tu-A6 model, the Leopard 2 received its ultimate sting, the longer L/55 gun. This extended barrel increased the muzzle velocity of armor-piercing rounds, allowing the Leopard to penetrate the most advanced Russian reactive armor at extreme distances. Combined with the latest thermal imaging sensors, the Tu-A6 owned the night. It could see the heat signatures of enemy tanks through smoke, dust, and darkness, turning the battlefield into a transparent map where the enemy had nowhere to hide. The Leopard Tu-A6 was the peak of 20th-century tank design, a machine that had no true equal in a head-on duel. The global service of the Leopard 2 proved its incredible adaptability. Canada took their Leopards to the heat of Afghanistan, where they added extra armor kits to protect against IEDs and RPGs. The Canadian tankers praised the machine's ability to take a beating and keep moving, providing the psychological shield the infantry needed in the dangerous valleys of Kandahar. It proved that the Leopard 2 wasn't just a fair-weather European tank, it was a rugged survivor that could thrive in the dust and the heat just as well as in the forests of Germany. Protection was further refined in the latest Tu-A7 Plus versions, designed specifically for urban warfare and modern asymmetric threats. These tanks feature a 360-degree surveillance system, a remotely operated machine gun on the roof, and improved belly armor to protect the crew from mines. The Leopard 2 was evolving from a tank hunter into a multi-role combatant, a machine that could fight in city streets just as effectively as on open plains. It was becoming a digital fortress, integrating with drones and battlefield networks to maintain its sovereign status in the 21st century. By the 2020s, the Leopard 2 was the most successful Western main battle tank in terms of export, serving in nearly 20 nations. It was a respected veteran, a symbol of military stability and European unity. But the era of peace was ending, and the Leopard 2 was about to be called to the front lines for its most high-stakes mission yet. The Iron Predator was going to the east to face the very enemy it was born to fight, in a war that would test every armor plate and every electronic sensor to the limit. The arrival of the Leopard Tu-A4 and Tu-A6 in Ukraine in 2023 was a historic turning point. After decades of serving as a deterrent, the German Predator was finally going into a full-scale conventional war against the Russian army. For Ukraine, the Leopard 2 was the sledgehammer they needed to break through the densest Russian defensive lines. Its superior optics and crew protection offered a massive advantage over the Soviet-era T-72s and T-80s. The world watched as the best tank in the world finally moved onto the plains of the Donbass to settle the score. In the hands of Ukrainian crews, the Leopard 2 demonstrated the value of Western survivability. There are multiple documented cases where Leopards were hit by anti-tank missiles or mines, but unlike Soviet designs, the tanks didn't explode. The blowout panels and the separate ammunition storage ensured that even if the tank was disabled, the crew walked away alive. This human-first philosophy has had a massive impact on morale. Ukrainian tankers know they are in a machine that fights to keep them alive, a trust that is worth more than any armor thickness. The fear factor of the Leopard 2 is real on the Ukrainian front. Russian forces have reportedly prioritized hunting down Leopards above all other targets, using everything from Ka-52 helicopters to specialized anti-tank teams. The Leopard's superior 120mm gun and its ability to shoot and scoot, thanks to its incredible reverse speed, make it a difficult target to pin down. In long-range duels, the Leopard's thermal sights allow it to pick off Russian armor before the Russians can even get a lock, proving that even a 30-year-old German design remains a generational leap ahead of its rivals. The war in Ukraine has also highlighted the challenges of maintaining such a complex machine in a high-intensity conflict. Ukrainian mechanics have had to learn how to repair these high-tech giants under constant fire, often with limited spare parts. The logistical tail of the Leopard 2 is its greatest weakness. It requires specialized lubricants, fuels, and electronic components that aren't always available in a war of attrition. But the Ukrainians have proven to be master improvisers, keeping their iron predators in the fight through sheer grit and industrial ingenuity. One of the most effective uses of the Leopard 2 in Ukraine is as a mobile sniper in defensive actions. Using its advanced fire control system, it can provide precision support for the infantry, taking out machine gun nests and armored vehicles from miles away. It acts as the iron spine of the defensive lines, a machine that provides the heavy punch needed to blunt Russian offensives. The Leopard 2 is proving that in the 21st century, the most important feature of a tank is not just its armor, but its ability to see first and strike with surgical precision. As the war continues, the Leopard 2 remains the most iconic symbol of Western support for Ukraine. Every successful mission is a testament to German engineering and Ukrainian courage. The tank has moved from being a peacetime sentinel to a battle-hardened legend. It has outthought and outfought the best that the Kremlin could produce, proving that in the theater of war, quality and crew protection are the true paths to victory. The Iron Predator is on the hunt, and its roar is the sound of the future. The final analysis of the Leopard 2 is a story of ultimate industrial success. It proved that the balance of speed, armor, and firepower is the key to longevity. The Leopard 2 established the blueprint for what a modern main battle tank should be, a platform that is lethal enough to destroy any enemy and tough enough to bring its crew home. It has outlived the Soviet Union and outlasted its critics, remaining the benchmark by which every other tank is measured. It is the grandfather of the modern armored world, a machine that defined the very nature of deterrence. The influence of the Leopard 2 can be seen in every modern tank designed today, from the Japanese Type 90 to the Korean K2 Black Panther. They all follow the Leopard model, a 120mm smoothbore gun, a powerful diesel engine, and modular composite armor. The Leopard 2 taught the world that a tank must be sustainable, it must be easy to upgrade and easy to maintain. It was the pioneer of the professional tank, a machine that recognized that the most important part of any weapon system is the human being inside it. Today, Germany is already looking toward the future with the Leopard 2A8 and the revolutionary Panther KF-51. These next-generation tanks will integrate AI-assisted targeting, drone launchers, and even more advanced active protection systems. But the Leopard 2 isn't going away quietly. The massive fleet in service across the globe ensures that this machine will remain a strategic asset for decades to come. The Iron Predator is not retiring. It is becoming part of a new, digital world of warfare where information is just as important as steel. The cultural legacy of the Leopard 2 is also significant. It is a symbol of German industrial recovery and European military cooperation. For the generations of tankers who served in its hull, the Leopard 2 is more than just a job, it is a sacred trust. It is a machine that rewards precision and professionalism, a tank that makes the crew feel like they are part of an elite, unbeatable team. The Leopard 2 is a source of immense pride, a machine that represents the best of what a democracy can build when it is determined to protect its freedom. Standing next to a Leopard 2 today, you feel its imposing presence. It is a massive, clean-lined machine that radiates a sense of absolute competence. It doesn't look like a relic, it looks like the future. From the Iron Shield of 1979 to the Liberator of today, the Leopard 2 has remained the ultimate tool of European security. It is the machine that ensures that the plains of Europe remain free, a tank that has turned the 120mm smoothbore gun into a permanent law of the battlefield. In the final analysis, the Leopard 2 is a magnificent success of the 20th century. It was a machine built to be the best, and it surpassed even its creator's wildest dreams. It outlasted its rivals, outfought its enemies, and outlived the era it was born into. The Leopard remains the Iron Predator, the sovereign of the plains, and the machine that defined armored warfare for all time. As the Leopard 2 continues its watch over the world, its legend only grows. The roar of the MTU engine is the sound of the modern era, and the Leopard is the machine that writes its history in steel.